Hi everyone, so today Jackie and I will be discussing the Loriciferans. So this is just an outline of what this presentation will consist of. So first we'll go into the characteristics, and then we'll jump into the morphology, which will lead us to the phylogeny, and then the life cycle, and we'll wrap up this presentation with the families that are within this phylum. So first, let's break down Loricifera. So Lorica means corselet, so armor-like, and then fere means to bear, so together armor-bearing. And Lorica actually refers to the protective layer that's surrounding the abdomen. You can't really see it clearly. Well, yeah, you can see it, this image to the right here, but the next slide you'll be able to see clearly the Lorica that surrounds the abdomen and all the insides and the gut and everything. So yeah, and this phylum also has bilateral symmetry. Its body tagma consists of the head, neck, and trunk. They have a well-developed nervous system, and their life cycle is known as the Higgins larval stage. They are all marine, and they're all free-living as well. Many are pseudocoelomates, but some are acoelomates. And Jackie will go into what that means exactly later on in the presentation. So now for the morphology, there are 5 regions to the Loriciferans. First, their head, which is composed of the mouth cone and the introvert. The scalids, which are the spine rings right here, the neck, the thorax, and the anus. So the head has these spiny retractable appendages, which are the scalids, which were noted before, and the scalids are used for feeding and for movement. So they also relay sensory information from their environment. And the abdomen, which is the largest section, is enclosed in that armor-like exoskeleton, which we mentioned before, which is the lorica. And the lorica is composed of chitinous plates. Loriciferans also have these specialized organelles called hydrogenosomes, and these organelles help the Loriciferans survive and reproduce with no oxygen. So with these organelles, these hydrogenosomes, they're actually able to have an anaerobic metabolism. Many aspects of the ecology of this phylum, like their behavior and feeding habits, are actually still unknown. This is partly because this is a relatively new phylum, so there are still ongoing investigations and discoveries that are being made for this phylum. As mentioned earlier, Loriciferans can run on an anaerobic metabolism, which is super impressive because it's basically unheard of other multicellular organisms running on this type of system. And it's just so impressive how they can survive and reproduce with no oxygen. And again, this is done by the help of the organelles, the specific organelles of the hydrogenosomes, which again produce energy without needing the oxygen. And it's actually been revealed that through study that most species of Loriciferans can complete a full life cycle in hypersaline basins, which are essentially lakes of ultra salty oxygen-free water. And that water is more than a mile below the surface of the ocean, which is about 3,000 meters underwater. And yeah, 3 species have actually been discovered in these waters, and scientists believe that it's possible that there's many more out there left to discover. This is an image of an adult male Nanaloricus mysticus, and this is one of the species that have been discovered in one of those hypersaline basins.
Phylogeny. The Loriciferans' phylogeny comes from the molting protostomes, Ecdysozoa. Loriciferans are protostomes that have scalids with muscles. They also have myoepithelial sucking pharynx and the Nematomorphophyla as their sister group from the clade. The Lophotrichozoa phyla does not share a common body shape, since the nematodes and Chinorhyncha have pseudocoelomate bodies Meanwhile, loriciferans vary their bodies between pseudocoelomate and acoelomate. The life cycle of the loriciferans is really complex due to their reproduction, and there's not a lot of information about their life cycle because some loriciferans do sexual reproduction and others do what it's called pedogenetic reproduction, which means that it's a sexual mature larvae reproduction without needing fertilization. Also, it's known that the loriciferans reproduction could be internal or external, following some stages that include the primary larva, the Higgins larva stage, and then continue to hatch eggs and grow by molting. While the young stages, the larva metamorphoses into a post-larva stage, which is a dormant stage and never feeds. A female or male that has fully developed gonads that emerges from the post-larva and repeats the cycle. For the Higgins larva stage, this larva has the same adult body shape, but it makes its own pair of toes. These toes have adhesive glands and use them for their locomotion. They also have mucrones that help them swim. The Loricifera phyla has discovered 3 families that are Nanaloricidae, Placyloricidae, and Ornaciloricidae. For the family Nanaloricidae, it's known that this family is known because they are acoelomates and they have a short mouth in both stages, larvae and adults. Their mouth structure helps them to suck algae and or bacteria. This family reproduces by sexual dimorphism in the clavoscalids, and the amount of clavoscalids differ from the males and females. The family Nanaloricidae in their adult stage possesses trioscalids that allows them to jump more than their own length. And for the males, the trichoscalids function as a hook for the female during copulation. They also have feather-like scales that cover their abdomen. Secondly, we have the family Placyloricidae. This family may be acoelomate as larva and pseudocoelomate as an adult. They have trichoscalids and these are used for swimming. There's not a lot of information about this family, but it's known that they don't have plates, but they do have a cuticular plicae. This family also has a stage called free ghost larva stage. The life cycle of this family starts with an egg, then the embryo inside the egg, following by 2 Higgins larva stages, which is the first instar Higgins larva and then the late instar Higgins larva. Then it continues to what it's called the free ghost larva that produces an egg and repeats with the embryo inside the egg and the 2 Higgins stages, which means that it repeats the first part of the cycle, to then form a free post-larva stage, to finally grow the female and male adults and then repeat the cycle all over again. Finally, we have the family Ornaloricidae. For this family, there's not enough information, so we only know that this is a new species that has created its new family, and it has a very, very complicated life cycle that consists of producing a cyst like megalarva, the Higgins stage, and for the adult stage, there's not enough information, which means that it's pretty much missing in the life cycle. Their reproduction is known as viviparous pedogenesis, which means that the family Ornaloricidae reproduces by creating the leaven inside of the young larval organisms. For our lab practical questions, we have 2. Number 1. What is the name of the organelle that allows the loriciferans to be anaerobic? The name of the organelle that allows the loriciferans to be anaerobic, they are the hydrogenosomes. Question number 2. Why the Lophotrichozoa phyla does not share a common body shape with the nematodes? The Lophotrichozoa phyla does not share a common body shape with the nematodes because nematodes have pseudocoelomate bodies and loriciferans have acoelomate and pseudocoelomate bodies. And that is all for the phylum Loriciferans. Here's our reference slide, and thank you for watching.